Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video we're just going to talk about what to wear to go show jumping, because unless you know, you don't know. I mean, on the basics of it all, you can wear light coloured breeches, white shirt, navy or black jacket, black or brown boots, good to go. I am a horsey girl through and through, but there is another side to my personality, and I notice it even more when I'm sort of taking a step back from riding, like through the winter months when I've only had McAlester in work and the other two have been on holiday. I've gotten really into fashion and makeup, and I have that whole other side to my personality that just doesn't make it to this channel, and I'd quite like to incorporate it in a way that would be interesting to everybody. So I thought this is quite a nice little middle ground. What do we wear when we go show jumping? I now have an enormous pile of clothes next to me. Forgive the creased state, they've been shoved in a drawer for months. So first is what I'm going to refer to as the foundation pieces, which are really like the bread and butter of the show jumping outfit. It's your breeches and your shirt. Let's talk about breeches for a minute. You can go for a classic white colour. I tend to wear white all the time, white breeches. But you can wear, I mean, I have these cream ones which are really, I'm sat on them, can you tell? I have these cream ones which are really for hunting when it's a bit warmer, because they are really, really thin. So you've got white, cream, there's like a stony beige colour which is a lot more popular now than it was back in the day. I would never have dared to wear these at a competition, but now it seems to be the done thing. And the good thing about this colour, it does look really elegant, although for me there's no competition with white. You wear white breeches, but also if you're frightened of getting dirty, these are a good colour to go for. So those are like generally what you want to be aiming for with your breeches. Got white, creams and taupey stony colour. I've been through a lot of competition breeches in my time, and when I first started out, the only thing I looked for was white, and they had to have silicone on the knee. And I do like having the silicone. It's not as essential to me anymore, but I think now the most important thing above anything else is they've got to be high-waisted, and for some reason that seems to be quite a tricky thing to come across. So I have some Spooks breeches which I love, and I do seem to wear those a lot because they're just so pretty, but they are low-waisted, and every time I put them on I'm like, oh, I wish these were high-waisted, because then I've got these tag ones. I have about 3 pairs of these same breeches, same size, everything, and these were about, I think I got them for about £20–25 off eBay, brand new. I can't find the seller anymore. I'm not sure whether they still sell on eBay or not. I'm so glad I bought 3 pairs because they're high-waisted and they've got silicone on the knees, and they're just a classic pair of breeches. For breeches, I think it's important to know what will you be comfortable in. Do you prefer high-waisted, mid-rise, low-rise? Are you one of those people? We can't be friends if you are. Do you want silicone all over? I personally find those give me a little bit too much grip coming in and out of the saddle. I just like a little bit of support on my knees, and white would be my preference. Price-wise, I mean, breeches can be crazy expensive. I think the important thing to remember is it doesn't matter how much you spend on your clothes. I would go for classic pieces, nothing with too obvious branding. I think that's such a thing in the whole equine industry. Like, it's branding, and fashion industry as a whole. I mean, there's logos everywhere. I think it looks cheap. I'm sorry, I do. I think it looks much nicer to keep the branding as minimal as possible, unless you are being paid by the brand to advertise for them. Okay, let's move on to the next category. Okay, next we have shirts. Shirts is where you can kind of get a little bit more experimental, because no one sees it apart from the collar and like a tiny bit of the V there. No one sees it when you've got your jacket on, but then if you're jumping in the summer months and you want to take your jacket off, it's nice to have a little bit of a moment, you know? So we've got this plain white shirt. For show jumping, you need to have one with a high collar. Otherwise I think you have to wear a tie or a stock. So most people just wear a shirt with a high collar that comes up. In the BSJA rules, it says the collar and the cuffs have to be white, but other than that, you've got free rein to do whatever you like with your shirt. So we have a plain white, easy, basic. We all know what it is. It's just a white shirt. This is a shirt that I'd probably like to wear in the summer if I think I might take my jacket off. And it's by Kingsland. And it's just a little bit cutesy and girly. I mean, it's got the fabric, I don't know if you can see. It's like got like a 3D effect. And then it's got this sequined beading around the sleeves and down where it buttons up. When you're jumping in the sunshine and that just catches the light, it's quite a moment. It's quite a moment. This is probably my favourite shirt. A nice icy blue colour, Cavalleria Toscana zip with the logo. And then it's got the sheer part down the front and the sleeves and the back. So in the summer, if it's really hot, this is perfect because it's so breathable and also it looks really nice. Like, it's just a lovely, summery, elegant colour. So do you want to go long sleeve, short sleeve or no sleeves? But the thing is, I don't really understand the shirts with no sleeve, because under BS rules, you're not allowed to jump without a sleeve on. So even in the roasting hot summer sun, if your shirt doesn't have sleeves, you've got to keep your jacket on. So I think, well, what's the point? Surely we haven't got sleeves because we're trying to keep cool, but if you've got to wear your jacket over the top. Anyway, am I missing something? I always just tend to go for short sleeves because they're good for layering, they're comfortable, you can wear them with or without a jacket. Tucked in would be the preference. It is smarter if they're tucked in. And also colours. Obviously a shirt has to have a white collar and white cuffs if it's long sleeved. But then you have shirts in a darker colour like this one. And I don't know how well it's picking up on camera. You would think this would look lovely, and it does look lovely. I think after even a few washes, the navy sort of seeps into the white collar, and now it's just a dirty grey. So I don't wear this anymore unless I don't have anything else to wear. And it's just a shame because it's got a nice little ruffled collar. I know some people don't like the ruffled collars, but I do. I think let's get a bit of a girly element in what can be a very male-dominated sport. Just be mindful of what colour. I mean, I don't think I would buy a dark shirt again because it's just not worth it. Light colours. Light colours. Let's do socks next. So with your socks, you just want something comfortable. If you have a pair of Lucky socks, definitely wear those. I tend to go for black socks just because I bought the wrong size boots. So my boots are slightly too short for me, which means that occasionally, especially in pictures, you do see the tops of my socks peeking through. So if I wear black socks, it just disguises that I bought the wrong boot size. But otherwise, I'd probably have a little bit of fun and a little bit of a fashion moment. Tie in the colours with something else, like if you're wearing a pink belt, wear pink socks. Your socks need to be comfortable. That is really their only function. No one's going to see them unless you want them to. I really only wear belts in the summer if I know I'm going to be taking my jacket off, because otherwise I find them unnecessary. My breeches don't really slip down and they're just a hassle. If you want to nip to the loo quickly, I always do a nervous wee before a round. And if I've got to do my belt, it just, you know, I haven't got time to be fiddling around. So I really only wear these in the summer. And I have this maroony plum colour. This looks lovely. Let me show you. I always think it goes really nicely with the blue of this shirt and then a plum to contrast the blue. What do you think? I think that's a winning combo. I do have a little bracelet that matches this as well, and it just, she's a fashion queen, she is. Also have a black one just when I want to keep it a bit more classic. Again, it's a Cavalleria Toscana, and their brand, I mean, it's very, very subtle, isn't it? And it's just a black belt with a little bit of elastic in it. Very comfortable, but really I find belts absolutely pointless apart from to look nice. Everyone's favourite category, the jacket. And I think a show jumping jacket really makes or breaks the outfit. I mean, if you get one that is cut well, they look beautiful. Jackets are probably the most expensive part of your show jumping wardrobe, but they're also the most susceptible to trends. I mean, a few years ago, it was all about, do you remember the bright blue show jumping jacket, especially here in the UK? I don't know what colour you'd call it. And I've always just stuck to navy because I think you really can't go wrong. I have gone through my phases where I've had blingy jackets, and I mean, this is as blingy as I'd go, and I was actually given this as a Christmas present a few years ago. I would not have bought it myself because of the bling, but actually it looks lovely on. It's very, very subtle bling. It's just like a little bit of piping here and there, and it does catch the light beautifully, and it's cut so well. I mean, this jacket just looks beautiful on. It kind of nips you in at the waist, juts out a little bit over the hips, and it's just quality. This is the jacket that I first bought when I had Billy, and this is when I was like, oh, bling, I'm a show jumper, I'm gonna wear loads of bling. Look at the buttons. That is embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. And then on the back, it's got like a little, I don't know, horsey emblem. And on the sleeves, I used to love this detail. It has little wings on the sleeve. I love this jacket. I do still wear it from time to time because this is the warmest jacket that I own. I mean, it's lined with like a really thick fleece. It is a little bit small on me these days. I'm not sure why. Someone's obviously been taking it in at the seams whilst I've been not looking, but yeah, bling. I think the show jumping community as a whole can just, let's get away from the bling. Let's stop doing it. It doesn't look good. Okay? Okay. This is a lovely one for the summer. It's an Animo, which is quite expensive, but look at the lining. Look at the lining. It's got a zip up the front, which is just so easy with poppers. A little bit of branding on the shoulder. And I don't know if you see the fabric, there's like little squares on it. And this is just a really comfortable jacket. It is actually, it always has been, very slightly too big for me. I think I could have done with getting the size down. But then it's nice, it's breezy in the summer. I have a feeling this was more of a trend buy than anything. It's a mesh fabric. So this is when you're jumping in really hot weather and you don't want to wear a jacket, but maybe you don't want to just jump in a shirt. Some judges can be really funny here in the UK. They make you jump wearing your jacket even if it's roasting hot. I think it has to be, the temperature has to be above a certain amount, and then you're allowed to take your jacket off. I mean, most show centres, they'll leave it up to your discretion, but some of them are real sticklers for the rules and they will tell you to put a jacket on. So for those occasions, this is perfect. I mean, it's basically just a net. The air just comes through it. And this is by AA Platinum, but they do this in a load of colours and you can really have fun with it because it's one of those things that you won't wear it every time you go out. Okay, and then last but not least, I've never actually worn this jacket show jumping. I wore it hunting because I thought it would do as a hunting jacket when I was a little baby, brand new to hunting. I didn't know that this doesn't cut the mustard when you go hunting. This is not what people wear. But I thought, I saw the gold buttons and I thought, yes, that looks like a hunting coat. No, it's not a hunting coat. It's not. They're very different things. But I picked this up for maybe £14 on eBay. And I think I'm just going to leave it in the horse box just in case I ever forget my show jacket. I can just throw this on. You know, it's good to have as a spare, or if my niece wants to borrow it to go to a show, or if anybody needs a jacket, I've got this one that I'm not precious about. It cost me nothing, but still, it's a show jacket, it's good enough. One thing I do want to say is don't feel like you have to have all of these trendy brands. There's absolutely nothing wrong with going to a show in breeches that you've had for years and a show jacket that looks like this and just a white shirt. I think that's an important conversation. I think we all know it, that show jumping and any equestrian sport can be very image focused and what brands are they wearing, and oh, well, my jacket's more expensive than theirs, and oh, but I can't afford those breeches. It really doesn't matter. What matters is turning up and trying your best and looking smart. Okay, let's talk about boots. These were like the it it pair of boots a few years ago, and my goodness, they've lasted me well. These are the ones where I said they are slightly too short for me, because I think I was just over cautious when I was measuring my legs for them. I didn't want boots that were too long that would dig into the back of my knee when I was, you know, sitting with in my riding position. So I did size down on my on the length. That was a rookie mistake because they are just a touch too short, but it's fine. They've got a little bit of detailing on the leather, and I've looked after these really well. I put them on right before I get on the horse, and I take them off as soon as I'm off the horse. So I've not done any walking in these really. Anyone can wear long boots now. It used to just be over 16s were allowed to wear long boots, but now I think anyone can wear long boots. And you have the option to either have like the laced, are they called field boots with the laces, or just plain. And I do like how the laces look. I think it just gives you a little bit more detail, a little bit more of a design element to your boots. But they just get so dirty, and then the laces break, and it's just more to maintain. So I think I've learnt my lesson. I will always just buy plain boots. So you can have long boots in black or brown. I'm not really sure what the rules are. You can get some that are patent, you can get some with like pink detailing. There's a lot of different things you can do with boots, but the main thing is black or brown, and try and have them clean. Lastly we'll do hats. So I have this Gatehouse Conquest. Is it a Conquest? It's a Gatehouse Conquest Mark II. I won't show you the inside because it looks a little bit gross. I've had this for a few years now. And it's the same as my one that I ride in at home. That's a Gatehouse Conquest, but it's the version before this, and I don't think that one's BS legal anymore. It's not got the correct safety ratings. They updated them, so this meets the current safety requirements, and it's a nice, like, what do you call these? Hard shell hats? That's just more where the trend has gone. Everyone used to wear the velvet hats for show jumping, but now it really is these, and there's some hats that you can get that've got a really big peak on them, and I know some people like those. I personally think they look awful. I think they make you look a bit like a duck, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't like this. Gatehouse is quite an under the radar brand. Not many people have this hat or know of them. The big brands are more like your Sam Shields, which are ridiculously expensive. I wish I could afford one. You know, the Sam Shield one with all the Swarovski crystals down the front. I wouldn't even like to have one. No, I wouldn't, because I don't like bling, but it would be quite cool to have a crystalled hat, wouldn't it? But then again, Charles Owen, who are like the OG hat manufacturers, everyone learns to ride in a Charles Owen jockey cap, don't they? Yeah, they're having a bit of a research. I think their marketing team's doing really well on social media, getting all the influencers in on Charles Owen. So that's quite nice, because again, they're a relatively inexpensive brand. I mean, they're not stupidly expensive. I would really recommend this hat. Everyone compliments it on my TikTok. This is your generic show jumping hat. Everyone's kind of wearing this sort of thing, whether it's black, navy, I don't know what other colours you can have, maybe grey or brown. And it can have some, I mean, this has got the chrome detailing, and that's really as bold as I'd go for a hat. I mean, I'm not too fussed about having a Christmas bauble on my head, but I'm only saying that because I'm jealous I haven't got a Sam Shield one. I am. I wouldn't even wear it. I'd just keep it in the cupboard and look at it and know that I had it. I just want to reiterate once again that as long as you're wearing clothes that are acceptable within the rules, like light coloured breeches, navy or black jacket, that sort of thing, don't get hung up on what brands you're wearing. It really doesn't matter. Spending a lot of money just to prove to other people that you have a lot of money and you can afford these things, come on, we're better than that. We don't need to do that. Rather than saving your money for a Sam Shield crystalled riding hat, spend it on lessons, and maybe once you've started winning some classes, save your prize money and do it that way. But what you wear should not be your priority. Obviously have fun with it. I'm not really telling you what to do. This is just these are my views. I go show jumping primarily because I really love the sport, but also I do like to have fun with what I'm wearing.